How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
We are back after a little hiatus, huh? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it has been.
And, I hope everybody had a really good turkey day.
Yeah.
Will, there's nothing in the background anymore.
Yeah, let's just start with apologize. I can hear the echo in here. We moved, so I have nothing on the walls. It's just blank, and it's a hardwood floor with just my PC set up in it right now. Nice. So that's why there's echo. So I apologize.
But you didn't want to miss 7 May church, dude.
No.
Speaking of church, I actually came back from a real church. Been a minute.
Yeah.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
Kids had choir this morning, had a little performance. Your boy dipped out right after the performance.
Yeah. What's left after that?
I don't know, man. I don't know why. And then I was like, I asked the person next to me too. I was like, hey, can y'all find Story of the Fight on Spotify, Breaker Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts?
And they were like, I don't know. And then what did you say?
I was like, maybe YouTube or maybe social media.
Yeah, it's at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. And then we have a group chat on Facebook, and it's Story of the Fight chat.
Dude, honestly, I don't know when the last time I used the Story of the Fight chat on Facebook was. Your boy been tweeting, though.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have a Facebook, so I've never been on it. I've just assumed that you've been on there.
I'm probably on Instagram more. And like I said, during the fights, I definitely tweet a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like Facebook's kind of dying.
Yeah, I mean,
when my grandma and everybody's on Facebook, I'm like, oh, let me check something else out. But dude, we had some fun fights last night.
Dude, yeah, this card delivered, right? On paper, it was exciting, and then
we said it last week, or
2
weeks ago, really, not last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
because again, Turkey Day.
Yeah, but yeah, it delivered. It was pretty much exactly what I wanted it to be. The only thing that sucked is there was a fight that got canceled. The Jake Matthews fight got canceled like the day before.
I was going to say it was pretty late when it got canceled, right?
Yeah, and I was really excited for that one. I like Jake Matthews a lot. Dude, but it is what it is.
I was on a roll, too. I had only gone like one fight incorrect in the beginning. I think it was like the very first fight. And I was like, boom, 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 right after that. And then we hit the last 3 fights.
Uh-huh.
And I went 0 for 3 at the end.
Did you pick Guida?
Yeah, I picked Guida.
Hell yeah. Ride or die.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now we could go ahead and start off with Rob Font versus Jose Aldo, the king of Rio.
Yeah.
Freaking king of Rio, dude. What'd you think?
Can we stop saying that Max Holloway's the featherweight GOAT? I know this wasn't a featherweight fight, but dude, Jose Aldo. I mean, what can you even say about him? It's so fucking cool to see him pull this off. Rob Font is so goddamn good. He's so good. His jab is insane. It's lightning fast. It's super straight. He's out of range. You like think you're in kicking range and he jabs you. And then, I mean, he's just an animal. And Jose Aldo said, I'll just eat this all day and crack you every single time I land on you.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest concerns, honestly, from Jose Aldo going down to bantamweight was, his ability to take some shots.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, he ate some decent shots yesterday.
Yeah, dude, the uppercuts that Font was landing the jab mostly right, but then when it got close, because Aldo really likes to play defense. So like when he's getting jabs, he's trying to slip, and then he's ready for the combos to the body, and like he's there, right? He's angling. But Font, anytime he would get in with the jab, he would kind of freeze Aldo with the jab because Aldo likes to block and shit, and he's really good at it. But Font would step in and land that uppercut and the elbow over the top, and I was like, fuck, dude, like Aldo's defense is really good, but Font is finding him,
Yeah.
And
dude,
one of
the first things I thought about was I still can't believe Aldo can make 135.
He looks jacked.
Ripped. And he had a hard time making 145 back in the day.
Yeah.
So, dude, just goes to show like how hungry he is
for
a title still. At the age of 35, He's done it, dude. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have anything to prove to anybody at all.
Nope.
He is regarded by many the GOAT featherweight.
Mm-hmm.
And goes down to bantamweight, reinvents himself. And I mean, dude, I was so impressed by him again last night. One, again, his ability to eat shots.
Mm-hmm.
Two, to adjust because Font came out with heavy pressure
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the fight, which did have him on his back foot and kind of
the whole first round up until the last 30
round.
seconds.
And then he landed that 1-2.
Well, that was the thing. That's what was so crazy is Font was landing all night, but whenever Aldo landed, it was like massive damage. Every time he would land that 1-2, and that 2 would come through and just completely rock him. And I mean, and Font's not like Font hasn't fought good guys, Aldo is just fucking cracks, dude. He cracks.
Yeah. And I think it was DC that pointed that out, where there's a difference in power.
I didn't watch it with commentary.
You didn't? No. Well, DC had pointed out, he's like, man, because they're both landing shots, but you can definitely see there's a difference in power with Aldo.
Yeah. When he lands this elbow in the clinch there, I was a little worried because it was massive. And I was like, ooh, that was big. How's Aldo going to respond? And then he just kept walking forward. I was like, oh,
no problem.
He's fine.
No problem. And, we heard the corner. I don't know if you heard that or not, but the corner.
I had the volume all the way down.
Tell Aldo, kick him. We need more leg kicks.
Yeah.
You got to go out there, set up the leg kicks. It's going to open up the top again, right? And then also when Jose, you can see his eye right here, looks like straight Quasimodo.
Yeah.
And he's sitting in the corner, right? And you see the doctor walk up, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And so the doctor asks the coach to translate. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck's the coach? Yeah. You're asking him to translate? Like, Aldo could be like, dude, I can't see out of my eye at all, and I don't think I can go back out there. And the coach could be like, oh, he said he's fine. Yeah. Hey, so, dude, like, out of anybody you can ask to translate.
Yeah.
But, dude, just a dog, man.
Dude, and shout out to the cutmen starting the 5th round. By the end of the 1st round, I was like, oh, shit, Aldo's eye is going to be swollen shut by the end of this. But then at the start of the 5th round, they always do the clip of both of them right before it starts, right? It shows him and his eyes like completely open. And I'm like, dude, they went to work on him. They did a fantastic job.
For sure, man.
I mean, he was getting lit up with that jab.
He was. And, dude, again, doesn't cease to amaze me. At the age of 35, and Font is no joke, man.
No.
I mean, we saw what he just did to Cody Garbrandt. What was it, a couple months ago?
Who knows, man? Everything's a whirlwind.
I don't even remember, but he pieced him up, man.
Yeah. I mean, he pieced up Aldo this whole fight. It's just he didn't do the damage that Aldo was giving back, I mean, 2 judges gave it a 50-45, but it's 149 strikes to 86.
Yeah.
Font almost doubled him up. I mean, he was picking him apart. And
Look at that, dude. Look at that picture. The King of Rio, man.
Yeah. Look at the dude in the back with the mask on and the beard.
Oh, the guy looks super depressed.
The guy who's just like, I can't do anything about this.
I'm thinking with Jose Aldo, he calls out TJ Dillashaw.
Yep, that's the move.
That's a fun fight.
That's the fight.
God, that's such a fun
because
fight.
The title's booked, right? The title's all whatever, right? And Aldo versus TJ is like, yeah, that's the fight to make.
I mean, yeah, because like you said, you already got Piotr Jan versus Aljamain Sterling to unify the belts.
And that fight will probably get delayed for some bullshit reason. And then
Sandhagen just lost. Rob Font was just beat by Jose.
You go Font versus Sandhagen, Aldo versus TJ.
Oh, what
belts already booked. What a fun division.
What a fun division, man. That's all I got to say about that. What a fun division. But super happy for Jose. Even though I picked Rob Font, everybody that asked me, I'm like, man, I got Rob Font, younger guy. He's on his streak right now. He's been doing really well. And Aldo, dude, I just keep on thinking about his age. And not just his age.
He's been
fighting forever, man.
Yeah.
So at what point is, Father Time going to catch up to him?
Some would say it did 4 years ago. And then here we are again.
Dude, it's nuts. And, one thing that also made me very happy is he went 5 rounds.
Yeah. So
he didn't seem to have a problem.
The pace that Rob Font was applying at the beginning, like you said, the beginning of that first round for 4.5 minutes was so aggressive and just jabbing his face off, completely swelled his eye up, all this stuff, right? And then the grappling exchange at the end of the second, I think it was, where Aldo had a lot of control.
Mm-hmm.
He looked gassed, and I was like, fuck, dude, Font can do this all day. And he's going to keep just swarming him with his jab and just not let him breathe. And those championship rounds are going to probably end up going to Font. And here's Aldo almost finishing him in like almost every round. It's crazy.
I guess they're saying
Dude,
that he's training now with the Brazilian Navy.
The
or
Navy,
something like
yeah.
that now. So whatever it is that he's doing is working, because this is the most endurance I've seen Aldo have in quite some time.
Definitely.
Right? Even the first rounds against Piotr were pretty competitive, and when you start seeing him start gassing out, is when Piotr starts taking over. But if you can, maintain this gas tank.
Well, that's also, I don't think it's just the gas tank in the Piotr Jan fight. I think Piotr Jan just reads people in those first few rounds. We've seen it now a number of times.
That's very true.
And then he just destroys them, and that's kind of what happens. So I think cardio did come into play, but also that's just Piotr Jan. Bruce Bobtrotter chiming in. Shout out Bruce Bobtrotter. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Said Rob Font needs to work his way back up now from Comic Sans to Times New Roman, but the dude isn't Helvetica level and never will be. Just the facts. Rob County Sans Font.
That's rough, dude. That's rough. But dude, I personally am a fan of Rob Font.
Yeah, me too.
Do you think he'll ever be a champion?
No, but I think he will challenge for the belt.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. Every once in a while you have those fighters you're just like, man, so much fun to watch. They're going to be sitting at the top 5 for a while, but can I ever see him beating the top 2, 3 people? I don't know.
It depends who they are. I mean, he's fucking good, dude. This fight shouldn't be a benchmark on Rob Font. It should be a benchmark on Aldo. You know what I mean?
For sure. All right, man. Do you have anything else on that main event?
No, happy to see Aldo. Happy with the call out. I'm glad he's doing it still. I really want to see him versus TJ.
So do I. So happy for Aldo. All right. Yeah. Before that, we had Fiziev versus Riddell. Now, you're going to have to help me out here, Will, because I told you this was late at night.
Oh, bro, you got it.
For your boy over here. I'm going to go back and watch it.
Yeah, you definitely go back and watch it, because this was everything I wanted it to be. It was so good.
Okay. All I remember is that I was so excited about this fight going in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, super high level striking.
Oh my
from
God,
both these
dude.
guys.
Yeah.
And from what I did watch, I just remember thinking very little wasted energy.
Yeah. Go when you need to go.
Yeah.
Everything else is good.
And all the shots are super tight, not too much overextending.
It's crazy, because this is one of those fights that it looks like they're missing a bunch or blocking or rolling with shots, but dude, they were cracking each other. They would go in, they'd wait, they'd both come in and they're just hooking. Yep. And they go in there, they're swinging and banging. And if you watch this in slow-mo, because it's in real time, they're so goddamn fast that it's hard to see the shots that are actually landing, and you really get to see who lands last. And that was kind of Riddell, for me at least. It looked like he was landing the last shots of the combos. But I was watching some of the exchanges in slow-mo. There's this guy on Reddit that just like as soon as the fight's over, just uploads like a list of links to just clips from different exchanges and stuff.
Oh shit!
And super helpful. Yeah, and you go through and watch that, and you can go like 0.5 speed or some shit like that, right? Dude, these guys in the pocket, it was like Dragon Ball Z. Like they're like out and they're just like fucking scrambling, landing shots on each other. And Fiziev, dude, holy shit, did he work well in the clinch? Or not in the clinch, sorry, but in tight. Yeah, I had Fiziev winning the first 2 rounds, and then the fucking wheel kick.
Dude, the timing on that. And
well,
dude, at the end.
He faked it, dude. That's why. He faked it on Riddell. Riddell fell into the trap, and then he thinks he's going low with it because he steps to the right, steps to the left, and then back. And that's when Riddell circles that way, and he goes right into it. God damn, it was nasty.
I love how at the end he talked about how he's like, yeah, Riddell circles out. Lowers his hands whenever he does. So I was just waiting for the perfect time.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, do the fight IQ on this guy, the game plan by this team. And so I guess Riddell was head coach at Tiger Muay Thai, was it? Or the kickboxing coach?
I think the head coach or the head striking coach at City Kickboxing, but also trains and probably coaches a little bit at Tiger Muay Thai. I think that's how it is.
I think they said he trained at Tiger Muay Thai, and then when he left, Fiziev took over as head kickboxing
okay.
instructor after that.
Gotcha.
So, but I guess they're pretty good friends too.
Mm-hmm.
How weird must that be?
Well, these guys probably have done this before. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah, probably maybe.
Yeah.
But I think it's like one thing to spar a friend or something like that. You know what I mean? And another thing to just like.
Dude, watch the video of Piotr Jan versus Fiziev sparring at Tiger Muay Thai. These guys have done it before.
Oh, dude.
It's crazy.
All right. Anything else on that fight?
It completely delivered. Fiziev got the bonus. It sucks to see Riddell go down like that, eat a big shot like that, but it is what it is, you know.
I mean, now for Fiziev,
get him
up against. You have
there, dude. Jesus Christ, it's taking forever. No.
Diego Ferreira, Gregor Gillespie.
You go if I'm matchmaking, you go RDA or Michael Chandler. Skip the line.
Really?
He shouldn't have to fight another prospect. He's done that too many times now. He shouldn't have. I mean, Connor's ranked 9 somehow still. He's injured, so you can't fight him. Dan Hooker, give him a break, you know. Tony Ferguson, what are we doing here? He's still ranked 7. No one knows what's going on there. Yeah, then there's RDA and Michael Chandler. Give him some of the guys that.
I mean, Fiziev versus Ferguson wouldn't be bad. Ferguson's ranked 7th. That's a big name for everybody to be able to kind of pick up on. And then,
I would like to see it, but like, no one knows what's going on with him. He's not booking any fights. He's not, you know.
He's fighting on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's fighting on Twitter. He's undefeated so far. All right, man. Before that, we had Jamahal Hill versus Jimmy Crute. So if anybody doesn't remember, Jamahal Hill is the one that had his elbow dislocated, right, in his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it against? Paul Craig, was it?
Yeah, Paul Craig. Fair G.
And then they're partying afterwards?
Yeah.
Like at a rave or something like that? Awesome to see.
But before that, he should be remembered by all of his knockouts. Dude cracks.
He reminded people of that last night, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was 48 seconds, if I remember
48
correctly.
seconds.
But it looked like
4 strikes.
Jimmy Crute had gone through five rounds, 25 minutes. Dude. Just getting beat on his face.
Really just beat him with 2 shots.
So he hit him with the right hook that kind of landed behind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Behind his head, a little bit behind his ear. You can tell his equilibrium was off right away.
Face plants real quick.
Dude. And then was it Crute that landed right on Hill while Hill landed his own right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's just he's got power, man.
He's got so much power. Like it. Yeah, he throws things real lackadaisical, and that might be why he has the power. He might just have like a crazy whipping like effect on it, you know? I mean, the dude's a savage.
I don't know, but you hear him on the interview afterwards. He's like, yeah, you know, y'all must have forgot.
Yeah.
And DC was like, what, me? He's like, nah, man, I'm talking to the world, and you represent the world right now.
You represent him, yeah.
I like the guy, man. Look, he looks so happy there. He's getting kicked in the ribs because he knows it's coming.
Yeah. Dude,
he knows
I'm a huge fan.
Up ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. So what do you do with Hill next?
Yeah, what do you do?
You know, he just beat Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute was ranked 13th.
Mm-hmm.
He lost to Paul Craig not that long ago. Paul Craig's ranked 11th.
Yeah.
Man,
Johnny Walker, Ozdemir, someone there.
Maybe. Poor Ozdemir. You talk about somebody needing a break.
I know, and then I'm like,
Ozdemir, like throw Ozdemir to the fire right now.
He's a good benchmark.
Against him.
He's a good benchmark. He's a gatekeeper for the top 10, and I mean that with no disrespect. That is that's a good spot to be.
Gatekeeper for the top 10 in the world.
In the world,
I mean,
pretty good spot.
If anybody says you're top 10 in the world in anything, man, you're doing all right.
And all that means is if somebody beats you, they deserve to be in the top 10. That's all that means, you know?
True. All right, man. Before that. Oh, there's the face.
Yeah.
There it is. Look, Richard Cadro putting up the picture right away.
The mullet's 0-2.
The mullet 0-2. Dude, but that last shot that Hill landed when Crute was already down, that's what shut that eye.
Yeah. That was nasty.
Sure. That was a nasty shot at the very end.
Yeah.
Before that, one of my favorite fights of the night. Dude, Clay Guida versus Santos.
How did this not win fight of the night?
I don't know, but it was insane.
It was crazy, man.
Dude, I'm a big
This was a
Clay
night.
Guida fan.
This was out of like 2010. You know what I mean? Clay Guida, Jose Aldo, both winning in spectacular fashion.
We turned back the clock. We turned back the
know?
clock. And like I said, dude, I had actually picked Guida to win this one. And not gonna lie, I was a little nervous that first round.
Did you pick him because you really truly thought he was going to win, or did you pick him because you really, really like him and you wanted him to win?
Because I really, really like him.
I do that all the time.
So remember I told you my buddy Jermaine's like, dude, I know why you pick wrong people is because you pick with your heart. And I was like, God damn it, I do. And this was one of those picks. Yeah. I love Clay Guida, dude. Look at, dude, the classic entrance, right? Getting smacked around by his coach, his energy bouncing up and down, you know, and he has the his hair just bouncing everywhere. And dude,
his head movement is still very interesting.
And talk about somebody that just represents wrestling.
Dude,
and sport of wrestling.
And those two things go hand in hand. The way he's able to shift and his head movement to be able to get in tight and close that distance is just, I mean, it's fantastic. It's so good, you know?
Oh, and he had his parents there last night. Did
for their 45th anniversary or something like that, right?
So his birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
Their anniversary. And can you imagine just sitting there and watching your son get
fucked
beat
up,
out of him
dude.
for 3 minutes?
Yeah.
But dude, what a comeback! And I was texting some of my buddies like, you never count Clay Guida out.
Yeah,
never count him out, man. He just got such a big heart.
When Guida got the takedown in the first, I was like, that's it. There's no shifting back this momentum. It was almost impossible to predict shifting the momentum that Santos had already gained, right? With the knees, the knockdowns, like the hurt him to the body bad of that kick. There's the knee. Shout out Rich the Casual.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to come back from that.
Oh, and shout out HLB Comer, by the way.
Yeah.
He's joining us again this week for sure.
Yeah. But so Santos has all this momentum, and then Guida survives it. Fantastic job by the ref. I saw a bunch of people online saying he should have stopped it. Obviously not.
There's no nonsense Keith Peterson, right?
Yeah, I know. Dominic Cruz is probably like, what the fuck? You know? Like, you let him go. He's like, it's because he's a Team Alpha Male fan.
Oh, but, yeah, that's so funny. But look, here's Santos looking at Keith Peterson.
I think that's what killed him. I think that's what prevented the stoppage. Because if he just kept trying to stop it, instead of stopping and looking up and doing little rabbit punches, if he just actually was going for the kill instead of looking for the ref to do half the work for him, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that. He gasses out. Clay Guida,
Keith Peterson was
never
like,
gasses.
Stop looking at me. That's nonsense, and I don't take it.
I don't take that shit. Guida, dude, once they got back up, they're like, oh, Santos is kind of gassed. And I was like, yeah, looks like it. And Guida doesn't gas. And then he gets that takedown and he slams him. I was like, oh, this is a wrap.
Over.
This is a wrap. Look at Keith Peterson.
His face.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man.
Dude, once he told
you
him
that when methodical. I see Keith Peterson, I always think like, oh, dude, there's Cody Garbrandt in like 20 years.
I know, yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's probably Dominic Cruz is probably going conspiracy theory with strings attached to all these photos. He probably thinks, and Keith Peterson, not the biggest guy into MMA, probably a Team Alpha Male fan, right? Yeah, probably hates Dominic Cruz because of the history. True. And he's like, of course, Clay Guida, the Alpha Male guy, he lets him go out on the shield. But,
dude, and then he just chokes him out. Rear naked choke. Dude,
dude, the fact that he choked out Leonardo Santos, that's massive. He's no slouch in jiu-jitsu. He's like a 4-time world champion.
Hey, how much does that matter, though, when you're absolutely gassed? Where you can barely move your arms. Because if you see after he unloads on Guida, this is still in the first round, 4 minutes into the first round, he drops his arms and starts shaking them.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, oh, he's done.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. And, you know, I've been asking you, hey, what would you do with this person next? I'm not even going to ask you in this case. Give him Charles Oliveira right now. Clay Guida, Charles Oliveira tomorrow. Lock it up. Title shot right away. We skip everybody. Skip that line, man. All right. Before that, Curtis versus Allen.
I am a huge Chris Curtis fan.
Yeah?
How can you not like this guy, you know?
I know.
I'm not saying that specifically to you. I'm just saying, how could you not like him, you know? Dude, look at him. Dude, his first 2 UFC fights are trial by fire. Complete trial by fire. I would not be surprised if they gave him why can't I think of the guy's name? He just fought.
When? Like last night?
Like 2 weeks ago. Phil Haas. He fought Phil Haas on November 6th. It was a month ago. Less than a month ago. And I wouldn't be surprised if, because they passed on him on the Contender series, all this shit, right? Comes in against Phil Haas. Phil Haas is blasting him, lighting him up. I would not be surprised if they signed him, right? He's a little bit older. He's got a long history in the game. I would not be surprised if they signed him to that fight so that Phil Haas can get a highlight reel knockout and propel his stardom, right?
Yeah.
Then he comes out and knocks him out, right? He's getting lit up and knocks him out. Then he takes this fight on short notice. When did this fight get signed? Because he was supposed to fight Delize, he was supposed to fight Delize, then he was supposed to fight Tavares, and then Chris Curtis steps in. It couldn't have been that long, right? Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Oh, I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But this is another one. Brendan Allen is rising quickly. People are noticing that this guy's very talented. I would not be surprised if they gave him Chris Curtis. Obviously, it was short notice. He's put his hand up. Would not be surprised if they're hoping Brendan Allen gets a highlight reel finish and rises to stardom. And Chris Curtis says, nah, I'm going to rip you to the body all night until you drop your hands and I can crack you up top and flatline you. Like, dude.
Thing of beauty, man. And, Allen, for a part of the first round, looked pretty good, man.
He looked very good.
Trains
too
with
good.
Henry Hooft in Sanford, right? Sanford MMA.
Just like Phil Haas.
Yep. Looked pretty creative with the strikes in the beginning.
A little too creative.
Exactly. But yeah, he seemed to be winning the first round up until he went for that heel hook.
Yeah, should not have done that. But
should not have done that.
It is what it is. Would have been awesome if he got it right.
Yeah.
And he almost did.
It's one of those things, where if it, he pulls it off, we're like, dude, that's genius, and he doesn't pull it off. Would have done that.
What are you doing?
But no, I just felt like he was doing work that first round and kind of ended like that, and give Curtis maybe some confidence for him to end that first round on top.
I think
landing
he gave
some shots.
I think that first round gave Allen a little too much confidence, a little false confidence.
Maybe.
And Curtis said, "Okay, just wait, because I'm going to be methodical, just like I was this first round. You might have won the first round outside of the grappling, right? The striking exchanges, but dude, the way he was ripping that left to the body, what a combo!"
So how we were just crazy about Kevin Holland. I think he got 4 wins in 1 year. Was it 3 or 4 wins 1 year? I don't remember exactly how many. Am I reading this right? 6 wins?
6 wins
for Chris Curtis this year?
Yeah.
In 1 year?
In 1 year, dude. This guy, I'm telling you, this guy should be a fan favorite. He really should.
What do you want next? He's like, dude, put me in UFC 269.
Yeah.
This is coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Dude,
here's the thing. He's waited a long time to get to the UFC. Now that he's here, he's trying to cash in. He's trying to get in when he can, trying to make up for lost time.
Hell yeah, smart man, dude, smart man. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Curtis as well, man.
He just seems like a good dude too. In all the interviews, he just seems really cool. Yeah.
Somebody that doesn't take themselves too serious, which you see a lot of in the sport.
Yeah, definitely.
So I definitely like that. All right. Before that, I think it was Gol Morono. Not really going to cover very much on that fight. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean it was better than I thought it was going to be, but it was pretty sloppy.
The only thing I wanted to say about that fight and remind everybody of is that Mickey Gall has been in the UFC since his first. Yeah. He had his first pro fight, and then after that, everything else has been in the UFC. So we're kind of watching him develop and grow. And
he did
in the UFC.
Yeah, and he did in this fight. He did look much better than he has in the past. I think the looking for a fight that it got him signed, right? Because he called out CM Punk. Yep. I think that hurt his career, I think, long term. But he's still in it, Yeah. It was a close enough fight,
For sure.
He's getting better.
All right, man. Before that, we had Todorović versus Pitolo.
Duško versus Maki Pitolo.
Yes.
Have these guys been matched up before? I feel like they had been, right?
I don't think so. Oh, wait. Rich busting out pictures of Morono versus Gall there. Rich, you can go ahead and fast forward these. We'll go to the Todorović versus Pitolo. There's
But
more action in this one.
But yeah, Maki Pitolo, they were scheduled back in June.
Oh, okay. But they didn't actually fight.
No, it got canceled.
Got it. Man, so in this fight, similar to the other one where he went for a submission, and I was just like, ooh, probably not.
Yeah, stuffs the takedown, decides to go with the guillotine anyways.
Yeah, probably gassed his arms out a little bit. But dude, how frustrating. I don't know if you remember, Will, but all the times that I've covered Duško Todorović, what's the one thing that I mentioned about his defense? Every single time. And I keep on saying he continues going straight back and his chin high up in the air. And that's why he's gotten caught.
Yeah, and he got caught in this one.
And he got caught again.
Yeah.
Who's in his corner? Who's training him?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, Pitolo.
I'm a bum sitting on my couch, and I'm like, dude,
don't do that.
You're getting caught over and over again.
Yeah, at a certain point, you got to recognize, hey, the head movement's not working the way it used to in like the lower levels probably. And we got to start making some changes because Pitolo cracks and he was landing a lot, you know?
Yeah.
The leg kicks, the overhead right
bombs, dude.
Yeah. And it sucks, man, because Pitolo has so much potential. And now we're here and he's lost 4 in a row.
I thought he had gone cut.
I thought so too. And then maybe
I saw news that he got cut.
I remember that also because I remember being bummed about it.
And then they were like, Todorović is somebody we like. We need him to beat somebody. Hey, Pitolo, come back in.
I mean, dude, look at the guys he's fought. Obviously, the rankings aren't there,
Pitolo?
but yeah, Darren Stewart, Impa Kasangane, Julian Marquez, and now Duško. Like, dude.
Yeah, it's not
easy fight. God damn.
Go there. And all of his fights have been fun, too.
And I think Darren Stewart's cut, right? Is he gone now?
I want to say he's cut.
Kasangane just got cut last week also.
Just got cut.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the last of them.
Yeah.
Pitolo of that crew.
This might be the last one.
Hopefully not, man.
Dude,
this really is so much fun to watch.
He really is. It's entertaining every time. And Duško, and it's entertaining because it's usually competitive. It's not like he's just it's not like you're walking out and just knocking him out. He's throwing back. He's landing shots.
Until Duško takes him down to the ground.
Well, that's the thing. The first half of the fight, stand up. Pitolo's winning. Second half, ground game. Todorović is winning, and his ground and pound is serious.
Dude, those were
very serious,
hard shots.
Super effective.
He had his own coconut bombs, you know.
Yeah, more than a few shots to the back of the head. Those never get called. Shout out Gilbert Burns versus Wonderboy, but
Eddie Alvarez recently too didn't get DQ'd for shots to the back of the head.
Yeah,
I think he contested that though.
He did, and that means nothing. Athletic commissions refuse to admit wrongdoing.
They're like, we're good.
That's fine. You can waste your time.
Duško, though, was pretty surgical, man, when it came to passing Pitolo's guard and then just found the perfect spots, to be able to make his moves.
I think that's something that he wanted to prove in this fight because early on he was really reaching for the takedowns. I think he's probably been working on the ground king because people think of him as like a somewhat elusive striker who lands big shots. But
he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but so is most of the roster nowadays.
Dude, and not to go back, but that's why I'm thinking like with Mickey Gall's like, dude, like I know that you've improved with your striking, you've shown it, but I don't know, like I don't remember like Khabib ever being like, yeah, I didn't take him down to the ground and pound him because just want to show everybody my striking now. Dude, it's like go to your bread and butter, man. You know what I mean? But anyways, all right. I'm pretty sure you want to skip the Manel Kape fight.
Bro, I've been telling everybody. This feels good.
You have. You've been telling everybody.
Good. Dude, he's so good. He should be 3-1 right now in the UFC. The other decision was bullshit. If you look up the you know how you can see like MMA decisions? I think it's MMAdecisions.com, and it'll show you what judges gave him what, and then what the media members scored it.
Let's see. It was Alexander Pantoja was his first fight, right?
Yeah, tough go.
The UFC.
Mm-hmm. Nicolau.
That's
the one. So when you look up the MMAdecisions.com, it's like whatever, right? One judge gave it to Kape, two judges gave it to Nicolau, but 28 out of 28 media members gave it to Kape. What are we doing here?
I wonder what he scored on verdict.
Not one person. I'll look it up.
Yeah, see if you can look it up because I like
Yeah.
the verdict scoring too. And a lot of times when I take a look at verdict scoring, I tend to agree more with what ends up coming up on verdict. So
Yeah.
But
It's rare that I feel like it's wrong.
now Manel Kape though
Dude.
is just he's so fast. And
verdict had Manel Kape.
Yeah, see, verdict had okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But so that first round, Zhumagulov comes out. Very aggressive, swinging, and you see him catch him here, right? He caught him a couple times, and Manel was game too, man, because he was swinging too,
smiling back, yeah,
smiling back. But then when you saw him kind of get settled in, right, throwing a couple leg kicks in there. Oh, right when I say that, look, Rich puts a picture up of him landing a leg
kicks, and he just kept going back to him. It was like bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh my god,
money,
yeah,
and he's just so fast. That's the biggest thing I took away is his speed was insane and
That's
very accurate.
That's the thing that was very frustrating about his debut is watching that he was trying to play the counter striker, right? But dude, when he chooses to go, it is so fast. It's crazy. When he finally rocked Zhalgas, dude, that flurry that he threw against the fence was like that was some Dragon Ball Z shit too. He just plants both feet and it's
a lot
just like
Dragon Ball Z references.
I mean, watch it. I mean, that shit was Dragon Ball Z. It's crazy.
No, but I see what you've been talking about. Again, you were super high on Manel Kape for the longest time, and any folks that have been listening to us for a while probably were like, "Dude, this is the guy that Will was talking about."
Yeah, I know.
He's 0-2.
Bro, people have been like that in my personal life telling me.
But he's highly skilled. We know this, right? He was a champ in Ryzen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I put this last picture on there for you, Will, since he's your man crush. And I was like, man, look at that pose there.
That's a great photo.
That is a fantastic photo. What is it? Starboy is his nickname?
Yeah.
Great nickname too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew you'd be super happy. And at the end, he's like, I don't need to call anybody out. They need to call me out.
Yeah.
I love his confidence.
Hell yeah, dude. And that's 2 first-round knockouts in a row. Flying knee knockout and now this. 2 knockdowns in the first round, and then the flurry that put him away is terrifying.
Doesn't look like he took very much damage, so hopefully we see him back in there very soon. Where do you rank him now?
Number 1. Tell me you don't want to see him fight.
Guida straight to the title shot.
Yeah.
No Kape straight to the title shot.
This is not what should happen, but tell me you don't want to see him fight someone like Figueiredo or Moreno. Come on, dude. Him versus Figueiredo. Figueiredo should not be fighting for the title right now.
That'd be nuts. That'd be
what are the rankings? What are the rankings?
We'll look at them right now. So we have Davison Figueiredo sitting number 1. Askar Askarov, number 2. Dude, that's a scary man right there.
Manel Kape wasn't even ranked going into this one?
No, he wasn't ranked going into this.
They dropped him that hard after losing to guys in the top 10?
Yeah.
Bro, fuck that, dude. Get him back in there. Give him Matt Schnell.
See, okay, that's exactly what I was thinking. So before we started the podcast, I was taking a look at the rankings, and I said Matt Schnell. Hey, no offense, Matt Schnell. But when we take a look at the top 10, I'm like, okay, that's an easy in for Manel Kape. Again, no offense. Going into the top 10, okay? That gets him back in the mix in conversation with these. But then, I mean, I think Kai Kara France is going to be fighting Cody Garbrandt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't jump into the top 5. You don't do that. That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, Will.
I know, but you give him Matt Schnell or
even a Brandon Royval, dude.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see it.
That's so much fun,
dude. He's fucking good, dude. I'm telling you, it's starting now. This is how I expected it from the beginning. This is what it's going to be good from here. Manel Kape is going to be must watch.
Sumadarji, Elliott.
What's Sumadarji doing?
I don't know.
I like that guy.
But either way, man, he definitely needs to crack into the top 15. I say give Matt Schnell. Give Matt Schnell.
Yeah, that's the move. That's the move.
I like it. All right. Now that we're done talking about your man crush, we'll move on. We have Bryan Barberena versus Weeks.
So this is Weeks' debut, right? On short notice?
On short notice, which, by the way, super impressed because considering that it was short notice and knowing how Barberena fights, I feel like he did really well. I feel like he did really well. And so I go into this one, I'm like, Barberena, here we go. I'm like, I'm like licking my lips like Scott Coker, waiting for the UFC fighter to get cut, you know?
Yeah.
And first round wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So I was like, but then second round picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Those classic Barberena exchanges, shows off his chin.
So I thought the judges had it perfect. I had Barberena round 1, Weeks round 2, Barberena round 3. That being said, Weeks looked better in this fight. It's weird how that ends up, right? Because he looked better, but he definitely didn't win the first and third rounds.
Now, when you say he looked better, right? Like what exactly do you mean?
Cleaner. Look at that. Right hand up, straight shot, right on the chin. He looked so clean, and his timing was really
more like
good.
Fundamentally sound, more technical.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him in his next fight. Because this fight fell through. Matt Brown got COVID when, like 2 weeks ago?
Go back to that last picture, Rich. What's Sonic the Hedgehog's evil villain?
Dr. Robotnik?
That's Barberena right there. Look at him. With that, it looks like a giant mustache. But, dude, I really like watching Darian Weeks, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does from here on out because this is a very, very tough debut to make on short notice. Barberena is a fucking tank.
Yeah, and he was finding ways to get his shots in too. When Barberena started, clinching a little bit more, and you notice Weeks started using the elbows out of the clinch a lot more often, and it kind of made Barberena start thinking twice about clinching up. So dude, it was a fun fight though.
It was a very fun fight, and this is what I like about. I like Barberena a lot, and I'm glad his career has become what it has because when we go back to remember, I don't think it was his debut in the UFC, but when he fought Sage Northcutt. It was like, oh, they're feeding Sage Northcutt this guy who's like, looks kind of flabby and like he's some random. Sage Northcutt's going to fuck him up and they're going to use it as promotional material, right? And then he wins and everybody clowns on Sage Northcutt for losing to someone like Barberena. Now, Darian Weeks comes in and loses to Barberena and everyone's like, damn, he looked really good against a very tough guy. I'm excited to see him next.
Well,
things change.
Dude, let's take a look at this. He beats Sage Northcutt, right? Beats Worley Alves, loses to Kobe Covington. He fought Leon Edwards, beats Jake Ellenberger. But then the fight was against Vicente Luque. So for anybody that's now just getting into MMA or anything like that, Rich, write this one down. Vicente Luque versus Bryan Barberena is an absolute crazy fight, man.
Dude, and every time he fights, it's just very competitive and very good. He's a good, tough fighter,
From born in Montclair, California. Where the heck is that at?
Montclair?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
All right. Well, before that, let me see here. We had Vlismas versus Martin.
Yeah, no more. It's down. It's by LA.
Oh, okay. Well. Yeah. Everybody always assumes that they're not from California. Like, yeah, I'm from California. Where? LA?
Yeah.
No,
LA?
There's more.
San Francisco?
There's more. Yeah. But yeah, Vlismas versus Martin. So if anybody sees Vlismas, they're like, she looks familiar. She's the young lady that had that big reaction when she won the fight night bonus, remember? And then she goes on there and was talking about how she needed to take loans out.
Yeah, she's like, I'm so broke right now. This is awesome.
Paying back like loans that she had just for like rent and camp and stuff like that.
A little bit of a name change. That's why.
Yeah. And also looks like part of her bonus went towards a new tattoo. Did you see her tattoo on her leg? Looked pretty nice, man.
Cool tattoo. Nice. But and she got a bonus here too. She got fight of the night.
Love it, man.
Do I agree with it? No. Am I glad that a prelim fight is getting bonuses above it always being the main event and the co-main? Yes, because they need the money more than someone like Jose Aldo does.
Dude, her Vlismas jab right out the gate, money, dude. Kept on landing over and over.
The counters were there. Every time Martin came in, she'd throw something and just get rocked. Just every time, dude.
Yeah. Did you see that picture too of Vlismas like holding her hands up? Like they were Yeah, that one right there. So I don't know what was going on, whether it was like a twitch from Martin, where like she do that quite often, and like Cheyanne after a while was like, dude, what the?
Yeah, what are you doing?
And then she does that and gets cracked.
Yeah,
like right after she did that.
So, man, awesome.
I'm not good at timing that. But there was some talk going on back and forth.
It seems like that happens a lot in Cheyanne fights. It's weird calling her Vlismas and not Cheyanne Bays, but yeah, because remember she fought who did she fight that was like, I'll follow you home, bitch. Remember that? She spit on her.
Dang.
You remember that after the fight?
No, that sounds aggressive.
Damn, what was it? Was
let's see here.
Montserrat?
Oh, Montserrat, yeah.
Yeah. Ruiz.
El Conejo.
After the fight, she pushed her off and she was like, I'm gonna follow you home, bitch, or some shit like that, because she spit on her. Right. She said, Cheyanne says she spit on her.
I think that was her debut too.
Yeah.
Right? Her debut in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Looking impressive.
Climbing the ranking. Good, man. Her striking's looking super clean. And yeah, they were talking about that too after a fight. They're like, man, can't wait to see her break into the top 15.
Let's get one more before that. That division is crazy. Let's
stacked.
Yeah. Let's just give it a sec.
All right, man. But that was it for the week. Was it?
Luis Smolka versus Vince Morales.
Missed that fight.
Oh man,
I need to go back and watch it.
Just taper your expectations because I know we're both big Smolka fans.
Yeah,
and it's
I saw the highlight.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Oh, dude, straight face.
It's a really bad one. Yeah.
Like you get worried about people like hitting the canvas and the back of their head bouncing off. Dude's nose. Full face plant. It's
a tough one, man. Morales is tough too. I like him, but I'll always root for Smolka, so it sucks to see.
Hey, it's a fight game, dude.
Yeah, he's been finished before.
It's like the most generic line I could use, you know?
I know.
It's a fight game. Hey, they sign up for this.
You could get more generic. It is what it is.
It is. It is what it is. Hey, but when Max Holloway says it, that's wisdom. Yeah. When I say it, people are like, this fool's generic as fuck.
Yeah, say something.
All right, man. Anything else for this week, then?
Let's see. Performers of the night bonuses. Fiziev gets one for the wheel kick knockout. Jamahal gets one for the double knockout. Guida gets one for the crazy comeback, maybe comeback of the year, potentially.
Guida, man, I fucking love him.
Yeah, he's in the running for comeback of the year for sure. Chris Curtis gets one for the big upset on Brendan Allen. And Cheyanne versus Mallory, they get the fight of the night.
How about a moment of silence?
Moment of silence. It's a long list. Let's see.
We were just talking about Montserrat too.
Yeah, Montserrat was supposed to fight Mallory Martin. She pulls out. Cheyanne Vlismas comes in and takes her out. Brad Tavares was supposed to fight Brendan Allen. I think that was the replacement fight for Todorović versus Brendan Allen, and that also fell through. Matt Brown was supposed to fight Brian Barberena. That didn't happen.
Shout out Matt Brown, man.
Yeah, we talked about Jake Matthews versus Jeremiah Wells. That fell through like the day before. Such a bummer because I really like Jake Matthews, and he's making big improvements, and he keeps not being able to fight. But the big one, Tanner Boser versus Sergey Pavlovich.
I love watching Tanner Boser fight.
Just want to see him fight.
Love watching him fight. By the way, did you see Frank Mir?
Yeah.
Versus Pulev? Tough, huh?
Well, yeah, man. What else was going to happen? You know, you put him against a boxer, and then you put him in a triangle where he can't escape the boxer.
With 4-ounce gloves, was it?
Yeah. Fuck, man.
It was sad to see, man.
It's bad.
It's sad to see. I have his autographed picture right up here, actually. Yeah. I like Frank Mir.
Yeah.
So I was pretty sad. Pretty sad. All right. News? Time for news?
Let's do it.
Rich, are you able to help us
we do have news. I'm gonna make it.
Well, you came in loud, man.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to. But apparently we have a fighter coming for Nick Diaz, and his name is Kevin Holland, 2022.
Shout out MMA Island. They have some pretty good news every once in a while here on Instagram. But how do you feel about this matchup?
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it should happen. If we look at the source, it's Chael Sonnen.
Hey, man, take it easy.
Chael Sonnen also said that Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson was happening. Chael Sonnen, awesome as he is a straight-up liar. The dude just lies. He just lies.
My heart, dude.
He knows, Kevin Holland coming to welterweight. Oh, people are talking about him. Nick Diaz everybody likes. I'll just do this and I can make a video out of it and get some views. I don't think anybody in the industry is even asking for this.
No?
I don't think so. I think it's just Chael being Chael. Nick Diaz isn't going to welterweight. Come on.
I mean, he didn't want to cut weight last time.
He didn't want to cut weight 5 years ago. You think he wants to now?
Who'd you throw his way?
Nick Diaz?
Yeah.
If he wants to go to welterweight, you go Matt Brown.
Give him some of those like classic fights.
Yeah. At this point, classic fights is pretty much all I would like to see.
True.
And I say that as a massive Nick Diaz fan.
Don't be scared, homie.
Yeah.
But
Kevin Holland, it does nothing for Kevin Holland either. Does nothing for him.
Don't talk bad about Chael P. Sonnen.
Yeah. Those are fighting words.
Those are fighting words, exactly. All right, what's next, Rich?
Next up, we've got Kevin Lee being released from the UFC, but where is he going to go next? Bellator doesn't seem to be interested. What does this mean?
and he's gone.
Yeah. Again, shout out MMA Island for this shot here. But were you surprised that he got cut?
I was surprised he got cut. Apparently now that I know a little bit more details, not surprising.
Okay.
It looks like his manager is the same manager that manages Francis Ngannou, that had one-on-one beef with Dana publicly. Clearly, they're not happy with Francis. Otherwise, they never would have done the interim belt that soon with Zhalgas. I think that was a way of saying, oh, you want to fuck with us? We're going to fuck with you, but we can't cut Francis Ngannou, right? He's a champ. We're not going to because he's very marketable, but we're going to pull some bullshit and do an interim title fight, even though he just got his belt. And all he wants to do is push a fight back 1 month.
But you know who we can cut?
You know who we can't cut is Kevin Lee. That's what I think happened. I don't think it has anything to do with Kevin Lee because we have people like Sam Alvey still in there. We have guys who are on massive losing streaks still in there. Kevin Lee is marketable still. If you look at his run, the guys he's lost to are like, I mean, it's crazy to me that he's gone because he's been the guy who's constantly been calling out hard fights, hard matchups that nobody else wants to call out. Islam Makhachev before he was even in the top 10. Charles Oliveira when nobody wanted to touch him because they saw what was happening and they didn't want to be a rung in the ladder for Charles Oliveira. And he was like, no, that's the toughest guy. I want to fight him. Didn't go his way, but you got to respect that. Then he goes up to welterweight and you look at his last losses, Tony Ferguson, Ali Quenta, RDA, Charles Oliveira, Daniel Rodriguez, like it wasn't all in a row, right? But there's long layoffs in between. He comes back to welterweight. He's supposed to fight Sean Brady, right? That falls through. He takes the D-Rod fight because Kevin Lee doesn't shy away from tough matchups. Nobody should take D-Rod on short notice. You know, he doesn't have the name value if you beat him. Most people won't know what that means. Some people will, right? We will know what that means. You beat D-Rod because he's very good. But he takes a fight in a new weight class on short notice against a gnarly striker, and he loses. And you cut him? And you don't cut him right after the fight. You cut him, when was that? That was in August. You cut him 3 months later. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And Kevin Lee, man, when you take a look at his comeback fight against Edson Barbosa, we were there live for the press conference when he gets into it with Michael Chiesa, right? When he starts talking about his mom. Don't talk about my mom. Getting that scuffle. Because of that press conference and us being there live, he has a very special place in my heart.
Well, dude, and he has great lines, dude. Saying he's gonna kill all these people. He's fought 32 guys, haven't killed a motherfucker yet, right? And his advice to young fighters is to cherry pick like a motherfucker. Don't take these hard fights because it makes no sense. HLB Comer, I see he is 1-4 in his last fight, missed weight and failed the drug test. There's caveats, right? I understand completely what you're saying. You think they would have cut him when he failed the drug test or when he lost the fight, if that's what it had to do with. Because you look at someone like Sam Alvey. How is Sam Alvey and I like Sam Alvey, but I mean, how many losses now Sam Alvey have in a row? Can you look that up, Romero?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Smiling Sam Alvey.
Yeah.
He does have a really nice smile, by the way. Let's see, we have 1,
that was a little
3,
nauseating.
4,
I was calling out Khabib.
5, 6 in a row
6 losses in a row for Sam Alvey.
for Sam Alvey.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And Kevin Lee is still so talented. He still
Gets
puts on
stopped.
exciting fights.
Gets stopped by Nogueira. Gets stopped by Jimmy Crute. Let me see here. Loses to Abreu. Loses to Ryan Spann. Gets stopped by Julian Marquez. And loses to Wellington Turman.
Yeah, so I don't know. It seems like there's more behind the scenes than just cutting him because of his performances. Because I mean, he comes back and he fights Gregor Gillespie in a highlight reel knockout that everybody was excited about. Then he loses to the champ, and then to D-Rod on short notice in a new weight class off double ACL surgery.
And HLB Comer commenting, one of the things that I see that he commented that I really agree with is so much wasted potential.
Yeah.
After his head coach had passed away, right? Mm-hmm. And he just never seemed to find a home.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just making excuses for him.
No, excuses, they're excuses, but excuses have such a negative connotation on them. There's excuses, there's reasons for things, there's things that play a part, there's factors, right? And those are factors. And HLB Comer, he does self-admittedly have a drinking problem. I think he's like, he's sober for, I think he said like 60 days or something like that. But
with John Jones.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if losing his head coach and feeling lost and not feeling he's talked about numerous times his mental health issues and not finding a fit anywhere after that, and doesn't feel like anybody really understands him on the same level that his head coach did. I feel for him, dude.
Where do you put him? Maybe Scott Coker really doesn't want him in Bellator. Put him in ONE
FC or Ryzen. I think he would be a massive star in Ryzen.
Well, I hope he lands on his feet, man, and I hope that he has a very successful career from here on out.
That's where I would like to see him. I think he probably goes to like PFL or Triller. Would be my guess. He said he's already being offered like 6-figure contracts. So.
Oh wow. Well,
good
again, hopefully he lands on his feet. Yeah. I think
we still haven't seen. I like HLB Comer said, wasted potential. I think the potential's still there. I'm holding out hope that I think he's still very capable.
Hey, the post from John Jones saying 60 days sober. Somebody calls him out and it's like incident with your wife in Vegas, 58 days. Yeah. He's rounding up a little bit. Rounding up. All right, what's next, Rich? What is next?
And next up, we've got Conor McGregor getting swole as fuck. Is this real?
He looks like Fiziev, dude.
McGregor has McGrown. What do you think of his recent gains, Will?
Yeah, I mean, come on. He said he's walking around like 191 right now or something like that.
Is this real? Why is his forehead so big?
Well, dude, see,
someone say human growth hormone, Rich.
Hey, man.
He's on that shit that makes your head grow. Look at Dana White.
So, taking a look at this, right? And when I first saw this, I think you sent it, Will. Mm-hmm. And I was like, is that even really McGregor?
It's weird, right? Yeah. And it was on his Instagram.
His face looks totally different.
Yeah.
I don't know what to.
It's like bloated, right?
He looks. Maybe it's just creatine.
People say
water retention.
Yeah, HGH will do that. People say D-Ball does that. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on that kind of shit, so who fucking knows? I also think he's maybe like blowing his cheeks a little bit in this photo. Like he's flexing and blowing his cheeks a little bit. So it adds to the effect.
Blow your forehead.
That's true. I mean, he looks like Fiziev, right?
He does.
It's weird.
There's somebody that was like, dude, that's not him. Like, you guys are falling for this picture.
He posted it.
It's him.
He posted it with like 4 other photos.
But he does look huge, man.
He is massive. He's definitely way bigger than he's ever been.
So if he's weighing in at 191, chances are that he's not going to drop down to 155 anytime soon.
I mean, who knows, dude? He's got time.
Maybe.
He's out for so long, you know? He might just be fucking around getting into it. He might just be getting into powerlifting.
Would you be surprised if we never saw him fight again?
Yeah.
You would?
I would.
Dude, I wouldn't.
I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we. I think he'll fight again. I don't know. This whole thing with Nate that's going on right now, I don't see why they don't just book Conor versus Nate. Just fucking do it. Nate's on his last fight. I know the UFC wants to fuck him over and give him some killer and use his name to leapfrog, and that diminishes his free agent value because that's what the UFC does with people at the end of their contracts this late in their game. But that's what you do, dude. Well, who else do you want to see Conor fight? I don't want to see him fight Dustin again.
No.
Maybe the Chandler
Michael
fight,
Chandler?
but also
Michael
maybe.
Chandler, yeah.
I think Chandler at this point just runs right through him, though.
Maybe.
And with this long of a layoff, too?
Justin
dude,
Gaethje?
No, I don't want to see it.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to see that fight for like title implications.
No,
I just want to see that fight because it'd be fun.
Matchups, yeah.
Conor still cracks with that left hand, man.
Yeah.
Still cracks. So I'm just curious to see if he lands one of those on a Chandler or a Gaethje or – Gaethje, if he were to eat a few of those lefts and just continue marching forward, Conor wouldn't know what the fuck to do at that point.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's all he's got, right?
He's like a zombie walking forwd.
And I say that with all due respect because all he's got is very good. It's still very good. I just don't see – I don't know. I don't see wins in the top with him. I just don't.
Yep. All right. Anything else, Rich?
So we got one more here. Pardon my voice, not feeling so great. So this guy, Pettis, he beat Horiguchi recently to retain his Bellator title. He had this interesting quote afterward. "I don't want to hurt anybody so bad that they're unconscious. It's kind of bogus to say, but it's better him than me. I'm a very nice person and a kind human being, but he would have done the same to me."
So with this here, I'm sure you saw the highlights at least.
Can you
right?
think of fighters that remind
fight.
you of the exact opposite, Will?
What's the dude's name? That's fucking. He was supposed to fight Rockhold. Why can't I think of his name?
Who?
He's a fucking insane person.
I just think of Derek Lewis. Where he wants to see you unconscious, and after he sees you unconscious, he wants to land a few more bombs.
Yeah, Sean
On your
Strickland.
corpse. Oh yeah.
That dude's a fucking animal. He's been talking about how he wants to kill somebody in there, and like that's his dream and shit.
Exact opposit. Opposite. I think about this though, and I think of like Lyoto Machida, right? Where like he knocked out God, what was his name? Mark
Randy
Munoz.
Oh yeah.
And after he knocks him down, he's like about to drop a hammer fist.
Yeah.
And he stops. And he just like bows afterwards. I was like, damn, man. Nice.
Well, Lyoto's a fucking saint, dude.
If I want anybody to knock me out, I want to be Lyoto Machida.
Yeah. Especially because you know you're going to be out cold and it's not like a repeated.
It's like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Rip it off, dude. Rip it off. And I know that you won't give me any unnecessary damage after that.
Yeah. This fight broke my heart, by the way.
Yeah, I know you were pumped about want to have a
Horiguchi, man. He's so sick. And it was a beautiful combo that Pettis threw. He misses with the high kick, comes through with the spinning back fist with the same momentum, and just completely flatlines him. Just catches him just enough on the chin to just knock. He's out, right? He's out for a while. All three judges had it 30-27 for the first 3 rounds of that fight for Horiguchi.
Wow.
Massive comeback for Pettis.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
Damn. I wanted to see him hold both belts, though. So bad.
I know you did. All right. Anything else?
Did you watch the ONE FC card?
I did not.
I sent you the link. You need to watch it.
I'll watch it.
Dude.
I just got to find time.
I know what you mean.
I got to make time.
The nice thing is, this might be not the best thing to say, but the nice thing is my commute before moving was like an hour and a half. So I just watched that on the way to work because it was live in the morning.
Wait, what?
I'm just in traffic.
So on your commute, you're just like watching the fights?
It was live, dude. What can you say?
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. All right.
That may or may not be true.
Oh, next week we have a UFC 269.
Yeah, we do. And it's good.
Dude, it should be very, very good. We have Charles Oliveira facing Dustin Poirier. Amanda Nunes facing Juliana Pena. Ponzinibbio versus Hands of Steel, Jeff Neal.
Crazy they didn't cancel that fight, right?
Yeah, dude. I guess they're looking into
it. For sure they would cancel it. Yeah,
Paiva versus Sean O'Malley. Josh Emmett versus Dan Ige.
Yeah.
Pedro Munoz versus Dom Cruz.
I know.
Dude, I
Kai
hope Keith
Tuivasa
Peterson.
versus
I hope
Sakai.
Keith Peterson's the ref for that.
I know, me too.
Oh yeah. Dude,
Sakai versus Tuivasa. Jordan
this
Wright
is finally
versus
going
Bruno
down.
Silva.
Tuivasa finally.
Muniz versus Eric Andres is good. Blanchfield versus Miranda Maverick. Very excited about that.
Ooh,
Alex Perez versus Matt Schnell. Damn it, I did not know Schnell was booked.
it's right. Still book it.
Still book it. Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall's back?
He's
How did I
back.
not know that?
He's back against Derek Minner, which should be a pretty good fight too.
Yeah, I did not think he was going to come back that soon from that knockout.
Dude, this entire card is stacked.
Yeah, seriously.
So stacked.
Jillian
I
Robertson
wonder what
versus
time it
Cachoeira.
It's probably gonna start
Damn.
like at regular time, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. All right,
Yeah.
man.
God
So,
damn.
thank you everybody that joined us today. HLB Comer, always a real
Always
one. Bruce
HLB Comer.
Globetrotter. Really appreciate it. And for anybody else that listened, again, if you can, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find us on Spotify, Breaker Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Social media, Will.
At Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter, and maybe a group chat on Facebook called Story of the Fight Chat.
Maybe, I haven't used
Yeah.
it forever. I think it's still there.
Yeah. By next week, my echo issue should be better, and I should have not just a blank wall behind me. We'll see. I moved here yesterday.
Well, congratulations on the move, Will. And I hope, again, everybody had a really good Thanksgiving. And, yeah, thank you for listening another week. Story of the Fight, everybody. Ooh, guns.
Finger guns.
Those are deadly.
Call me Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.